This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hey guys, I'm back in the pink suit, which means that it's time for one more Barbie movie. And I'm wearing a really stupid space helmet, which means that it's time for Barbie and the Rockers. Oh yes, Barbie's show began with one of Barbie's most recent movies, so it's only fitting that we now cover her very first movie, Barbie and the Rockers, Out of This World. We open on the 80s. The wonderful, glorious 80s. Just listen to the music. Soak in those cheesy sound effects. It sounds like G.I. Joe and the Transformers are about to crash onto the scene. Unlike Barbie the fashion model / actress that we've all seen in the last several reviews, this Barbie is apparently the hottest singing sensation in the world.
No question about it, Barbie and the Rockers are the biggest, hottest sensation in rock history! Wow, that girl is sizzling hot! And last night's World Music Awards, she won them all!
Barbie's unbelievable! Her new album went mega gold in 1 week, and tickets to a concert are harder to come by than it only is with the Queen!
Barbie and the Rockers have stolen the hearts of France in their sellout concert last.
In Soviet Russia, Barbie dresses you.
Today in Washington, Barbie was named the first ambassador for world peace.
I would imagine that most ambassadors are trying to go for world peace, but so far Barbie is the first one to actually do it. And she wasn't even trying to be an ambassador for peace. Those must be some pretty embarrassed ambassadors.
What's next, Barbie, now that the world tour is over?
You've conquered the entire world! What can you possibly do to top yourself? I can't tell you yet, but I've got something extra special in the works.
After their latest concert, they need to catch some R&R.
Where to?
Where else?
Clouds in the sky!
Where are they going? Bespin? Oh, come on, I was just kidding! Yep, Barbie and her friends go to frickin' Bespin, where they have a little dance number that eventually takes them outside to dance on the clouds. Watch out, Barbie, you're gonna run into Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. Wow, that's some pretty lackluster applause for the biggest star in the world. Then again, with choreography like this, I can't really blame them. Oh, look at the front there, it's David Hasselhoff. The next morning, in her stereotypically pink San Francisco apartment, she gets a special invitation to a ball that's being run by the World Peace Organization.
The World Peace Organization requests the pleasure of your company at a ball to be given in your honor as the first ambassador for world peace. What am I going to wear?
Then they have a dressing up montage where Barbie does not try on any of her millions of dresses. She just kinda sways awkwardly back and forth to the music.
There is really nothing else I'd rather do, 'cause I'm happy just to dance with you. I don't need to hug or hold you tight. I just wanna dance with you all night.
Seriously, what the hell is this? We joke about Barbie's 100+ careers, but at her core, she was always about fashion. How can she just decide on this one dress without trying on anything else?
I don't think you've ever been so gorgeous.
Wow, that was clunky. Considering how the story opens with Barbie uniting the world through music, you'd think the music editor might want to take that a little more seriously. Was that music even supposed to be in there? I wonder what it really was before they made that cut.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
Is the chandelier watching them? Barbie interrupts the proceedings so she can announce what her band is going to do next.
Barbie and the Rockers are going into the history books. Our next concert, dedicated to world peace, will be the first concert ever performed in outer space.
Outer space?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news, boys. You're in space.
But why are they in space? There's no reason for them to be in space!
On the contrary, my dear Bobson, there's every reason for them to be in space.
Then they have a completely scientific montage while playing Do You Believe in Magic? Weird musical choice, as they prepare for their space show. And Barbie is still wearing her concert garb. This is still Barbie, isn't it? They couldn't give us a montage of her trying on different jumpsuits or figuring out the best way to do her hair for these training exercises. Where's the pink spacesuit? And the space shuttle taking them into orbit is wrapped up like a present. Watch, they're gonna give this shuttle a big grand reveal and it's gonna be this awful, gaudy shade of pink. Called it. Then again, what else could we expect? Since it was built by Barbie's own aeronautics company, she gets to make it whatever color she wants. And why are they going into space in costume? They're going up in what is, more or less, a conventional space vehicle, so why should they be wearing conventional spacesuits? Or do all musicians dress like they're about to perform while on their long bus rides between gigs? And why are they the only people on board the shuttle? We saw them go through the kind of training that one would go through for getting to and surviving in space, but shouldn't there be a crew to actually fly the shuttle?
Our first ambassador for world peace is heading for the stars.
Yay! We did it! All right! We're on our way! Our little world with so many different people.
Awesome, isn't it?
Awesome! Get a load of this!
Sounds like the Decepticons are attacking! And now she's Rainbow Bright, and her friends are trapped in the Phantom Zone. I don't think space works like that. Then they fly into Deep Space Nine, where they can make a perfect landing thanks to the station's artificial gravity. I know that Barbie's had a lot of jobs over the years, but when did she become a captain for the Federation? After a little montage of them getting all dressed up for the show, because they aren't dressed up for it now, the show begins upon Hal opening up the pod bay doors, which of course has to make the space station look like a giant flower. I'm going to assume that Barbie built this thing too and just kind of forgot about it. It also goes without saying that during the dressing up montage, the movie can't decide if the artificial gravity is working or not.
Great continuity!
Hello out there! This is an indescribably exciting moment! The first concert in outer space! For the first day of world peace everywhere! Thank you so much! I know you want peace as much as I do!
It's a little known fact that in the global struggle for world peace, all you have to do is want it.
There will be peace when the people of the world want it so badly that their governments will have no choice but to give it to them.
Then they have another big, drawn-out number. Seriously, half of this movie is just that Jefferson Starship bit from the Star Wars Holiday Special. They head back to Earth once the concert is over, and only now do they actually react to their weightlessness.
What a thrill!
You're not kidding?
Yeah! It's hard to express!
Except in music.
Good to know that the ambassadors for world peace are so stupid that they somehow overlooked the very first thing to notice about space. Oh no, now they're radioactive! That can't be good! And then they get sucked into a wormhole. Barbie, you had one job. Navigate the shuttle from the space station to Earth. It's pretty much the simplest set of directions anyone could ever be given. How the hell did you get so lost that you're now flying straight into a wormhole? And what's at the end of this wormhole?
A room with a moose!
No, it's a wormhole that has a bunch of clocks swirling around in it, which means, of course, they're traveling back into the past. Apparently they were flying at 88 miles per hour, and now they're gonna see some serious shit. They meet Dr. Clark Kent and his daughter Kim, who tell them that they're in the year 1959. Thankfully, this guy just happens to be a rocket scientist, so he offers to help them get back home. Because rocket scientists know how to bend the laws of time and space.
My dad makes rockets. He'll get you back.
Do you think you can?
Well, I certainly will try.
No, at this point, the best thing you can do for the space-time continuum is to kill Barbie and the Rockers and pretend that this just never happened. Then Kim, Barbie, and the Rockers, not at all worried about screwing up the past, have a little dressing up montage, and somehow end up looking more like the 80s than when they left the 80s. Barbie takes a stage at the local malt shop, because she's Barbie, of course they'll just let her do that, and she sings to a record that's just as 80s as they are. Nice.
Do you wanna dance and hold my hand? Come on, baby, do you wanna dance?
Hey, Gem and the Holograms, you know that sound that someone already recorded that you were looking for? Well, listen to this!
And a 1, and a 2, and
Oh hey, look at that. They got a ride with President Kennedy.
Keep seeing this picture of you. Here comes my baby. Here we go now. And here comes if no surprise to me with another girl. Here comes my baby. Here we go now.
Okay, Barbie, stop it! Time and space are circling the drain right now. Eventually, Dr. Clark comes up with a solution to their problems.
From what you told me, somehow the position of the planets and the musical chords you played triggered that time tunnel.
What?
Somehow the position of the planets and the musical chords you played triggered that time tunnel.
I repeat. What?
Somehow the position of the planets and the musical chords you played triggered that time tunnel.
Of course! Don't you know anything about science?
You know, I actually do believe that musical notes might trigger a wormhole. I mean, after all, everybody knows that sound travels better in the vacuum of space!
We just need to repeat those same chords with the planets in the same position.
The singing's easy, but what about the planets?
They'll be lined up the same way the night of your concert.
How convenient.
Before their concert can begin, Barbie says goodbye to Kim by giving her this little locket. So the concert can now be underway, and... wait a minute. The shuttle's at the concert? Not in space? Are Barbie and the Rockers gonna play their chords right here on Earth? Do they plan on taking all of Earth back with them to 1987? Because I gotta say, planet plus planet in close proximity equals catastrophic doom. Probably don't want to do that. Then Dr. Clark teleports them into space, because teleporter technology is so much easier to perfect than space shuttle tech, and they fly into the distant future where mankind has been exiled off-world until Wally is done cleaning everything up. Nah, just kidding. Of course, they get back to their own time as if they had never left.
We made it! We're back in our own time!
Just in time for our welcome home concert.
Barbie? Yes?
Don't look at me like that. It completely looks like they threw themselves at each other. And Kim introduces Barbie to her daughter, Megan, which looks an awful lot like something else that long-lost lovers would do. Hello, Barbie. Good to see you're doing so well. There's somebody here I want you to meet. Then the movie ends with Barbie going back to her concert and not catching up with her old friend / lover. The end! So that was Barbie and the Rockers, out of this world. And even by Barbie movie standards, this was stupid. Do you know what this movie is? It's a babysitter. There's nothing here but cheesy songs and pretty colors designed to distract the kids that you're watching so you can call your boyfriend for a few minutes. What especially gets me is that this movie was made 2 years after Back to the Future was released, and since they made this a story where Barbie goes back to the year 1959, it certainly seems like they're riding on Back to the Future's coattails, but they never treat time travel with the seriousness that it deserves. If Barbie doesn't care about tearing the universe apart, what reason do we have to worry about whether or not she'll get home? I began Barbie Show with a pretty good Barbie movie, and ironically ended it with the worst one that I've seen yet. Hopefully that just means that by next year, it'll be all uphill from here. See you later.
Your moosey fate.